Hi, my name is Victor Mwangi from Potent KCSE Revisions, and today we are going to show you KCSE questions that have been asked from Form 2 in the last 5 years. So this is from 2018 to 2022. This is the second video I'm uploading on YouTube. The first video you can see on my video list. You can see it has performed very well. Many students have liked and relied on it. And we hope that even this video will help you to revise well and at least and understand the mode of testing, what questions are most frequent, so that you don't just revise anyhowly. So KCSE is just next week, and this video is important for both current candidates and future candidates. We still have candidates who are in Form 3 going to Form 4, and even those who are in Form 1 or those joining Form 1. So this video will help you to understand how KCSE Mathematics Paper 1 is tested. Actually, you're going to see most questions in Form 2 appear in Paper 1. So let us go straight to the video. Now, so the first topic in Form 2, indices. Now, in the first topic of Form 2 is a very interesting topic or chapter. So this topic has been tested in the last 5 years, from 2018 to 2022. In 2018, 3 marks. 2019, 3 marks. 2020, question 3 marks again. 2021, question 15, 4 marks. And 2022, question 3 marks. Now, what you have noted is that 4 times in the last 5 years, it has been tested with 3 marks. Only once in 2021, the question had 4 marks. Okay? Now, in this year, 2023, do you expect a question? Of course, yes. That question has appeared in the last 5 years. It is a testable area. It must appear in KCSE. So an example of the question, so I've indicated I have given one example for each question, for each topic. Now, here, you can see solve for x in the equation 5 raised to 2x minus 1 minus 25 raised to x is equals to 500. So this is 3 marks. 2022, paper 1, question number, question number 3. Yes, it was not 23. The second topic in Form 2, evaluation of numerical expressions. This is one of the least expected topics to be tested in KCSE. For example, in the last 5 years, this topic has only been tested once. In 2018, it has not been tested in the last 4 years. I wouldn't encourage any student to keep on revising on this topic for this year. If it comes, well and good. If it doesn't, most likely this question will not be tested in this year. Yes. So an example of such a question is, use mathematical tables to find the reciprocal of 0.0247, hence evaluate. Correct to 2 decimal places. 3 marks, 2018, paper 1, number 8. The third topic is equations of straight lines. Equations of straight lines is another very interesting topic. Previously, and I want you to note this, previously, during our years, early 2010s, yeah? So this question used to come just 3 marks, 4 marks, not a structured question that is worth 10 marks. But note, in the last 5 years, this question has appeared 3 times as a structured question in paper 1 worth 10 marks. In 2018, question 18 now is the second question in section 2. Remember, KCSE Mathematics paper 1 and paper 2 has 16 questions in section A, and then now from question 17 to 24, 8 questions in section 2, where you're supposed to choose, of course, 5 and leave 3. Now, in 2018, question 10, and question 18, then 2019, question 18, and 2022, question 19, 10 marks. This question was not tested in 2021, but in 2020, question 6, 3 marks. So this is how the question used to come many other years. So in 2021 is the only year when equation of a straight line was not tested. Okay? Very well. Now, we can go to an example. Last year, question 19, this was the question. And I think I've solved this question in one of my videos. Please check equation of a straight line in my channel and you are going to see this question and it has been solved. One of the important things about this question is that it has mixed two concepts, equation of a straight line and simultaneous equations. Actually, I have also mentioned it in predicting questions from Form 1. I've mentioned that bit. So it is important you go through it so that you can understand how it relates to simultaneous equations concepts. Good. Now the next concept is transformations, the next topic. Under transformations, there is 2 subtopics. 1, reflection, rotation, translation, and enlargement. This is again a very good topic where examiners want to take 10 marks questions, and also it's another area where you do not expect to miss a question. In the last 5 years, it only missed in 2018. So this question has been there in the last 4 years, 4 consecutive years. And we do expect that topic again to be tested this coming year in 2023 and even in the future KCSE questions. Then we also have an example. I've given there an example. Remember, in this video, I'm using an example of the most recent question. If it was there in 2022, I put that as the example. If it wasn't there in 2022, I put the question from 2021. Okay? If it wasn't there in 2021 and 2022, I put the question that was tested in 2020. I mean the most recent KCSE. Alright? So this is the example. I'm putting this example so that you can visualize and understand and see the question, so that I don't just mention the topic and you don't see how the question is tested. Good. Now, under transformations, the second subtopic we have similarity and congruency. So in this year, remember in the first subtopic of transformation, which is reflection, rotation, translation, and enlargement, that question has been tested in the last 4 consecutive years, or consecutive, 4 consecutive years. So this question again, in the second subtopic, similarity and congruency, the question wasn't asked in 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021. It has only been tested in 2022. Okay? Good. Now, remember, in 2022 we had a 10 marks question, and again, we still had question 14. Same, paper 1. Question 14, 3 marks, and question 24, the last question. Both from the same topic, but different subtopics. So the question that was asked is here. the capacities of two similar containers are 54 ml and 250 ml respectively. The difference, the difference in the heights of the two containers is 4 centimeters. Calculate the height of the larger container. Similarity and congruency. So these are very easy questions that you are not supposed to fail. So my channel seeks to demonstrate this question and also show solutions. So in this video, I focused mainly to familiarize you with the question, the testing, and also make you understand the patterns and the most tested topics. But in other videos, I'm going to provide solutions for all these questions. So subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed, please. Now the next topic is trigonometry 1. Trigonometry 1 is another interesting topic. This topic has been tested in all years apart from 2018. The past 5 years apart from 2018. And in 2020, there were 2 questions on this topic. Both questions appeared in section 1. So this shows you how important this topic is. Good. The most recent question on this topic is, so an electric post erected vertically. So the concept you are required here is to use sine, tangent and cosine. You remember the formula SOHCAHTOA? Very well. The next topic is measurements. If there is any one topic that I'm passionate about and that I think every student should get right, is measurements. Imagine, measurements, there are like 5 subtopics under measurements about perimeter, distance, measuring distance. And I wonder some students will fail in this topic, yet go out there, do technical courses like mjengo or kutengeneza nywele, and you are able, kama ni nywele unajua kugawanya vizuri, okay? Kama ni kujenga, you are able to do it, to measure the length of this room and the length of the other, the length of this one and the length of the other one, they should be the same or something like that. But in class, you used to fail. I really don't understand. Because measurement is something you see, is something you apply every day, and is something you relate to. Okay? So the first subtopic is perimeter. This topic has been tested in 2019 and 2020. In the other 3 years, it wasn't there. Who knows? This year, it is likely to be there. Because in the last 2 years, it has not been tested. But it is not a sure bet. However, so this is the most recent question in 2020. Remember, I have said that I give the example of the most recent year when this question has been tested. So in 2020, this was the question. And you are being asked to find the radius of the inner circle. So remember, this is just measurements. Now, area. So perimeter, we have seen the question, it was tested in 2019 and 2020. Now coming to area. The same year when perimeter was tested, 2019 and 2020, area was also tested. Imagine. So understand perimeter and understand area. So it is only in 2021 when there was no question in about area or perimeter. The other years, 2022 and 2018, there was no question on perimeter, but there is a question on area. The most recent question was last year, obvious. Now, you can see that diagram. And I've actually provided a solution to this question in my very first video. Either the first or the second video. I don't remember. Well, this is question 6, the second video. I have provided a solution for question 1 up to question 4 of KCSE 2022, and also I've provided a video with question 5 to question 8. So check on that. So the measurements, we also have volume. So a very interesting topic again. So remember, in 2019 there was a question on perimeter and area. Now on volume it wasn't clear. But any other year there was a question on volume. So volume in 2021 there were 2 questions, and 2018 2 questions. So what do you get from that patterns? That perimeter was tested in 2019 and 2020. Come to area again, 2019 and 2020 both had area. Coming to volume, 2020, like 2020, had perimeter, area, and volume. Different questions. Like, yani, let us just sum up the marks for 2020 and see. So 3 marks, perimeter, area 4 marks, so that 3 plus 4 it's 7. Then we go to volume, 10 marks, 2020 10 marks, question 18. So we have 17 marks on measurements in 2020. 17 good marks. Let me tell you, if you get 17, I cannot say that you are going to get an E in KCSE. Just understanding just one topic, measurements. Yeah? And we can even add other years. For example, just looking at volume only. In 2018 there was a question, 10 marks. 2019 there was no question. 2020 10 marks. 2021 10 marks. 2022 10 marks. I mean, if you have a question on volume, it has to come for 10 marks. See. So this year, do you want to bet there will be a question? Obvious. A question on volume must be there. Okay? Yes. So then we have capacity, so or volume. So an example, question 18, paper 1, 2022. You can read this question and try to solve it. I'm going to provide a solution to this question also in one of my videos. The last, not really the last, but the 4th subtopic under measurements is density. Look, in the last 5 years, there was no question on density. So the last time it was tested was in 2015. So you cannot guarantee. Density again is a mass of volume, which is density. Alright, now the last subtopic under measurements is time. Time, this topic was not tested in 2018, but it has been tested all other years. In the last 4 consecutive years, this question has been tested. Should we bet that this topic will also be tested? Of course, yes. And remember, about measurements, we had 17 marks. We had counted 17 marks under the first 3 subtopics in 2020. Now, if we add these 3 marks, we have 20. Imagine 20 marks from the same one topic, measurements. So this is what I always tell students. Stop focusing on the hard topics that you don't understand until you understand the simple topics. First, understand the measurements. And I have tuition this holiday, and I'll make sure that one of the topics that I must insist is the simple measurements. I cannot overlook and say, measurements is easy, I cannot teach this for tuition students that students can read for themselves. No, I must teach the simple topics like measurements so that it can motivate students. Last holiday, I gave them a question about volume of a cone. I gave them measurements and then I repeated the question again with different measurements, and I'm glad students were able to understand that the topic of measurements is just the same concepts you have, you just change measurements. Okay? Yes, and that's all about mathematics. Yes, so question in 2022, question 7, paper 1. Time. Watch loses 8 seconds every hour. So you need to understand reading a clock in 24 hours and in 12-hour system, AM, PM, and hours. Alright. Then we have the topic of algebraic expressions. Algebraic expressions is again a very testable area. If you look at this table, you'll see only 2019 there was no question on this topic. Any other year it has been there, and it is a short structured question, so 2 or 3 marks. So prepare well on this topic. Let me show you an example of that question in 2022 number 5, paper 1 number 5. Question number 5, it was this. So understand this concept. It is asked every year. Yes, it will come in this year. Then we have linear inequalities. Linear inequalities. So this area, this topic has been tested in 2019 and 2021. So 2 years, and it was not tested. It has not been tested for 3 years, but it has been tested in 2 years, 2019 and 2021. But what is the pattern? Look at the pattern. So we are skipping 1 year, we test it another year, we skip 1 year, we test another year. So we can almost bet that 2023, this question will be there. Prepare well on inequalities, linear inequalities. Don't say, oh, only 2 questions the last 5 years. No, look at the pattern. We are testing 1 year, we skip another. We test another year, we skip another. Yes, so I would really encourage students to learn and understand linear inequalities. So an example of the most recent question on this topic, you can see. So I'm showing you the example so that you can visualize and also practice on it. Okay. Now we have an important topic called linear motion. Linear motion, distance, speed, time. That's all you need to know. And if you have one formula that speed is equals to distance over time, you can be able to convert and find the formulas for the rest. Okay? Obvious. I hope you can be able to do that. Now, this topic was not tested in 2019 and 2020. But it was tested in other years. So it's an easy topic. If it can even come for 10 marks, but I've not seen one here. Maybe we are going to look at it in paper 2 and find a long and structured question. But previously, in the early 2010s, this question used to come worth 10 marks. But in the most recent 5 years, this question has been tested only for few marks, like 2 marks, 3 marks. We call them short structured questions. Now, one of the reasons that could have inspired examiners to remove this question from section 2 is that students don't perform well in this topic. But it is easy, especially when you bring in the concept of relative speed. So if you don't really understand that concept and you are just like 2 weeks to the exam, don't bother about this topic, okay? It is just worth 2 or 3 marks after all. So you're going to struggle with the question and it will be tested for 2 or 3 marks. So this is the example, the most recent question in year 2022, paper 1, number 8. Now, we have statistics 1. Statistics 1, again a very, very interesting topic. and very testable. You can bet this question. Like in 2018, there was no question, but any other year, there has been a question, a question, a question. And what more? Every time there has been a question, it is worth 10 marks. In 2022, there were 2 questions. One worth 2 marks and another worth 10 marks. In the other years, 2019, 2020, 2021, it's a very easy question, especially statistics 1, mean, mode. Let me show you the most recent question in 2022. So you are given the amount of money in Kenya shillings spent on airtime by a group of 30 people in a period of an hour was recorded as shown below. So this is money that people randomly, who not really random, but just that people, the amount of money they spend on airtime. Credo. Now, complete the frequency distribution table below. 2 marks. So first, you just have to know how many people spent between 20 and 24 shillings. You come and find 20, you tick. You go 22, you tick. 21, sorry, 20, 21, 22, even 24 there you tick. Unaenda tu kicancel. Alafu unazihesabu, unaziandika pale. You go on ticking the same pale na pale na pale. If you find yenye hauja tick, unaiangalia alafu unaongeza. Yani creating a frequency table is very easy. Frequency is like how many people, for example in group 1, how many people spent between 20 and 24 Kenya shillings on airtime kwa hiyo group, na ni watu 30, unaandika tu. On the grid below, so this question, utapewa nini graph, uambiwe uchore a histogram, yeah, and then so determine the median and number of people who spent more than this. So using that histogram. Now at least you have the first 2 marks, then drawing the grids already. Kuchora 2 grids kuna marks, hata bila kuweka the nini vizuri histogram. Alafu na ukipata vizuri, you have all the 3 marks. All right. Then we have vectors 1. Vectors 1. Haha. Yes, a very easy topic. One of the reasons you should be keen on this topic, this is the last topic in Form 2. It has been tested all years, every year. Look at the past 5 years, 2018 to 2022. Again, it is one of the questions that is frequently asked, even you have multiple questions the same year. For example, in 2019, question 11, mark 4 marks. Paper 2, question 13, 3 marks. What you should note is that this question was the only question that was tested from Form 2 in Paper 2. Should I repeat that? That this question, only in 2019, one question on vectors 1 appeared in Paper 2. All other questions that we have looked at in the last 5 years from Form 2, all those questions have appeared in Paper 1. That should go home. That Paper 1 and Paper 2, Form 1 and Form 2, all questions appear in Paper 1. Just one question. Out of how many questions? So many questions. Very many. Very, very, very many questions. We are going to look at them. Again, another thing you should note is that in 2020 and 2021, there were questions worth 10 marks from this topic. Alright, now, let us look at the example of the most, the most recent question. 2022 paper number 10, you have this question. Now, we have come to the end of those topics, not really the end of our video, but the end of the 11 topics in Form 2 that have been tested in KCSE. Now we want to look at important statistics. What are the trends? What are the topics that are mostly tested? And similar statistics that will help you in making the right decision and revising well and working smart. So number of questions and marks per year, Form 2. So this one we are looking at in 2018, how many questions were drawn from Form 2? So we have 9 questions were drawn from Form 2. How many marks did they total up to? They totaled up to 39 marks. Remember, paper 1 has you are supposed to work out of 100, but there are 3 questions you leave out that are worth 10 marks each. So the paper we can see out of 130, you have 39. But if you are focusing on working and earning the 39 marks, then it is 39 out of 100. Okay? If you get Form 2 work well, yote, 39 out of 100. We pata 39 in 2018. Then you have your good marks. It's not even a D. No. In KCSE, we are going to show you how grading will be done this year, and we are going to understand the importance of this. Then we need to understand that this is the year when the total marks from Form 2 was the least. Look at 2019, 10 questions, 53 marks. 2020, 12 questions, 57 marks. 2021, 12 questions, 56 marks. And 2022, by the way, I forgot to update this video. 2022, there were not 11, there were 12 questions. I'm going to show you the graph. 12 questions and 67, sorry. In 2022, 12 questions, 67 marks. Just gets that 67. So we mean a good student in Form 2 can be able to get almost an A by just working on Form 2 work only. We have not talked about Form 1. Let me show you how, when we mix the two, what happens. Now, in 2018, there were 7 questions from Form 1 and 9 Form 2. So, this one I have updated. Remember I said that in this video, in 2022, I did not update the number of questions, but in this table, I have updated. There are 12 questions Form 2. And total 67 marks is also updated. Now, the total number of questions tested in 2018 from Form 1 and Form 2 were 16, 2019 18 questions, 2020 21 questions, 2021 there were 17 questions, and lastly last year 2022 there were 18 questions. So what we are interested more is not really the number of questions, but remember it is this total number of questions is out of 24 questions. So when you have like 2020, you have 21 questions from Form 1 and Form 2. We mean only 3 questions were not drawn from Form 1 and Form 2. And in 2018, when we have 16 questions drawn from Form 1 and Form 2, we mean that only 8 questions were not from Form 1 and Form 2. But again, what about the total marks? In 2018, 70 out of the 130. But you can decide to do only Form 1 and Form 2. For example, which is what we are motivating you to choose the easy questions. 70 out of 100. Let me tell you, that is an A at KCSE. Ask any examiner. Go to 2019, 79 out of 130, but just work on that. Like get 79, okay? Get 79 and you have 79 out of 100. In 2020, oh my god, the year of COVID-19, they had really tried to make the paper very easy for the students. In 2020, it's 100 out of 130. So if you get everything 100, you are very good. It will be 100 out of 100 because you're not doing the other 3 questions. In 2021, it was 72 marks. Then lastly, last year, 94. So we cannot say it was just COVID-19 when they favored the student. Look at last year. So what was there last year? But there was 74 marks drawn from Form 1 and Form 2. Yes, that should motivate you. If that doesn't motivate you. So the last column, the red column, I've just made like some average or some percentage. Like in 2018, when you have 70 questions, marks out of 130, it's like 53. The percentage composition is 53.85%. So just look at that. And then the average is 63% of the questions or the marks tested in paper 1 come from Form 1 and Form 2. 63.84% on average. Okay? Alright, now, so this one you can begin pole uangalie, and you can, if you have a notebook, I would advise you write this. And that in 2018, you write all the 11 topics, and then you look at ilikuja question number ngapi na ilikuja marks ngapi. So you have indices. On indices it was not question 8 but question 3. So you have question 3, 3 marks, question 8, 3 marks, question 18, 10 marks. There was no question on transformation, reflection, similarity, trigonometry, measurements, perimeter. But there was area, volume, density. Oh, there were 2 questions on volume. Yeah. Okay. There was no question on density, time. There was a question on algebraic expressions, linear motion, vectors 1. In 2019, the following year, you can also copy this table and go through it keenly and see what topics do not miss. Then you compare this table, 2018, 2019, the table in 2020, the table in 2021, and the table in 2022. Now, we have this last graphs, which help us to visualize the number of questions and also marks. So for this one, we have put the number of questions from Form 1 and Form 2 tested in the last 5 years. So we can compare which is it Form 1 or Form 2 that is bulky in paper 1. Now in 2018, as you can see, the red graph, the red bar represents Form 2 and the blue one represents Form 1. So in terms of the number of questions, there were 9 questions in Form 2 and 7 questions in Form 1. So 2 more questions. When you go to 2019, also 2 more questions in Form 2 than in Form 1. In 2020, 3 questions. So there was 9 questions in Form 1 from Form 1 and 12 questions from Form 2. Come to 2021. Oh my God. You can see that 5 questions from Form 1, but 12 questions from Form 2. Like more than double, more than twice the number of questions. Again in 2022, only 6 questions in Form 1 and 12 questions, the double, twice as much in Form 2. So Form 2 is very, very important, but not despise Form 1. It's also testable. Okay, very well. Again, what you also notice is that in the last 3 years, 3 consecutive years, 12 questions have been tested from Form 2. All right. What about in terms of marks? We have looked at in terms of a number of questions, but what about in terms of marks? In terms of marks, in 2018, around just slightly above 30 in from Form 1 and close to 40 in Form 2. So cumulatively you have around 70 marks from Form 1 and Form 2 in 2018. Coming to 2019, in terms of marks, Form 1 was around 25. Form 2 was more than 50, slightly above 50. So again, look at that and see that you can get like 50 marks from Form 2 and 25 from Form 1. Again, more than 75 total. Now, in 2020, Form 1 more than 40, Form 2 more than 50, close to 60. So remember we added that and we got 100. In 2021, just as there were few questions from Form 1, also the number of marks were less than 20 from Form 1. And in Form 2, there were more than 50. 2022, Form 1 close to 30 marks and Form 2 over 60, close to 70. So what have you noted? Look at the blue bars alone. Now forget the red bars. What do you see? There is fluctuation, okay? What about the red bars? There is a little bit of fluctuation, but there is some trend that we are increasing. We are increasing the amount of, the marks, total marks tested in Form 2. So I want to suppose that by that point maybe we have stagnated or we are intending to test more Form 1 and Form 2 work. But why? Ask yourself why. Why ask Form 1 and Form 2 and carry up the bulk of Form 1 of Paper 1? It is because most students tend, by the time they're in Form 4, they have forgotten Form 1 and Form 2 work. 2, some students who are in a rush, wanakimbia hapa na pale, they have forgotten that Form 1 and Form 2 work is very important and they are rushing to understand hard concepts like bearing, no, not really bearing, 3D geometry, calculus, and other topics. While they are important, don't forget the easy questions. I have talked to many examiners and they keep on insisting the importance of the seemingly easy questions. Now we have come to the end of this video. I would love to hear your feedback. Please contact me. Either send comments on this video. You can contact me through this number, and also you can email me through potentbooks@gmail.com. So you remember to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, you are notified. And also you can help us grow this channel to reach others. Thank you very much.